I wanted to quickly kind of just touch on something that was really cool that happened that happened last week and kind of over the weekend. Good morning, Paul. I was Friday night. I was just on X, and I think this was actually the day that Charles had posted that big blog post. And I read it. I don't know. It felt kind of cathartic. It was like not uplifting, but it was kind of like a response. You know what I mean? From someone in leadership at hedera, and so I was kind of feeling it. And I shared a post. I don't know. I was just walking, and I just thought, imagine not being an HBARbarian, just because, I think that over the last few weeks and months, with everything happening that we've talked about on the show and just what's been happening in the community, I think that definitely it's easy to feel defeated or burnt out or whatever it might be. And so again, it was energizing to kind of see the conversations around that post from Charles. I was just feeling a bit of a vibe, so I just randomly posted it. But this is kind of an example of like how engaged and powerful the hedera community is, because as soon as I shared this, like tons of people just started, even Charles himself just started like retweeting it and sharing like, imagine not being an HBARbarian. And I don't know, even this morning I was on X and I was like, I was looking at all the different, post about it. If I search imagine not being an HBARbarian, I'll just search that. I'm not going to check these search results before I scroll through it, so God help me. But yeah, like, I mean, we've got Ed from Swirlds Labs. We've got all sorts of people. Like, I mean, we got Rob Allen. And I don't know, it was just a random post that I did on a Friday night, and shout out to, who was it that retweeted it first? I can't remember who it was. I think it was, let me see here. I have to give credit for who tweeted it first. Let me see here. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but anyways, I know Vicente was one of them, and then if there was a few others, but anyways, it was just people retweeted it, and now it's this whole thing where people are just retweeting my post or each other's posts, and just, I don't know, I guess this is like a massive doxing of the whole community. And it was really cool to see. Like somewhat, Jack from Kabila made like a montage of a bunch of people. There we got Zepsi, imagine not being an HBARbarian. So I don't know. I think this was super cool. There's Charles retweeting it, participating, but I don't know. I think that there's a lot of like crazy stuff that's happened. Coin Man. I mean, lots of people. Vicente, shout out. Vasizi. Some people posting pictures of Lehman. I don't know. It was definitely a vibe, and just kind of like very, very surprising for me, because, well, I guess maybe not surprising, but like, I would say like, yeah, maybe it was surprising. I don't know. I had a sense that the community was kind of like bummed out about stuff, or, burnt out, or whatever it might be with everything going on. But again, seeing that, it kind of just speaks to the power of the hedera community and how engaged everybody is. And still, people are sharing like, imagine not being an HBARbarian. So I don't know, for what it's worth. It was pretty cool. And I thought that it was definitely a sign that people are online, people are awake. I think that some people think there isn't like a ton of engagement in this space, but clearly there is. So shout out to everybody who is tweeting that. Keep it up. I think it's great. I can't really imagine not being an HBARbarian. And I guess that's kind of the other side of the coin here, is like, some people were like, well, maybe I can imagine not being an HBARbarian, and looking at maybe the negative side of it. So it's interesting. I think that there's so many different angles to it, but the one thing that you can't argue is like people are, stoked to be HBARbarians in the ecosystem and engaged. And it kind of makes you think like, well, if everyone can get rallied around some random post on a Friday night, imagine what else we can rally around and get excited about. So it just kind of gets you thinking and definitely gets you optimistic.